play Hobbs, obviously we're both 0-0 at the time, but back when Hobbs was in our district, you could always throw records out of the window when you played those guys. They're going to fight and battle, and they had some new energy with their new head coach Ken Stevens, and you can already tell that they're playing hard, and he's doing a great job over there.
Well, I tell you, I keep looking out, at the beautiful field, and guess what? It's called AstroTurf. Am I dated on that?
Field turf, yes, sir.
Field turf, and when I was there, it was all grass, and when I was here, the grass was immaculate shape.
Yes, sir. I remember that. It was.
Talk about your playing days a little bit when you were playing with Coach Ronehouse, and what you've learned from him and you bring to the table today.
I think Coach Ronehouse was such a good coach during practice. He put so much pressure on kids during practice that when it came game time, you were ready to perform. You were kind of glad to be on the field and away from him a little bit, so you didn't get your butt chewed as much. If I had $1 for every time I was told I was the worst quarterback in Clovis Wildcat history, I'd be a millionaire right now. So.
Well, I thought you were a millionaire because you were the worst. Just kidding on that. No,
right.
But you think about it, and the history that Ronehouse and what he's done with the state championships, the blue trophies that that are in your locker room and here that. It was a great honor for you to take this job.
It is. It's amazing. When I grew up around it, my dad coached with him. He was his defensive coordinator for a while. And, just seeing the kids when I was young coming out of the locker room, out of the tunnel, and the crowd cheering, there's not quite a feeling like it that you can get, man. And, I thought to myself when I was in high school and then on to college what I wanted to do. And, this kept coming back to me, being a coach at Clovis and trying to get that same feel that you had when you were playing. And, this is about as close as you can get.
I'm now the band's getting up here, and actually I'm getting goosebumps and remembering the days that, I was a football fan. I mean, when I was here, my 1974 Dooney Good won the state championship, one of the many runs after Ronehouse became the head coach, but they went undefeated, and I just can't wait, for another hour and a half how this stadium fills up.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you have a 6-man.
You're right. It was a great atmosphere last week. Our dog pound was rowdy. It was packed. Our home side was full and loud, and it just coming out of that tunnel, like I said earlier, there's not quite a feeling like it you can get, man. And our community's behind us. Our administrators are 100% behind us, and it's been a great 2 weeks so far, and the school spirit's there. So our community has big expectations for us, and that's a good thing to have.
This doesn't happen without great assistant coaches, and I speak on those on their behalf for just a sec.
Man, I can't say enough about those guys, the stuff they do and help me with behind the scenes. Obviously you got Coach Hatley, our defensive coordinator, who's one of the best in the state at what he does. And whether that's being a teacher, whether that's being a football coach, or whether that's being a referee, a dad, or a husband, he's one of the best at everything he does. And when he puts his mind to something, he gets it done. Coach Jordan, he's a former Clovis Wildcat as well. So is Coach Hatley, a state champion. Coach Jordan's a past state champion. He's our offensive and defensive line coach, and he gets after them, and those kids, they get better each week, and he grinds with them, and it gets after it. And then we're lucky to have him around. We got Coach Gillespie, who does our special teams and our receivers and our defensive ends, and the stuff he does behind the scenes with our meals, with our getting T-shirt orders and, pre-game stuff, the schedules and everything like that. You couldn't do that without him. And then we got a new guy from North Carolina, actually. His name is Joe DaVinja, and he's got 13 years under his belt. His girlfriend is stationed out here at Cannon, so we really lucked out when we lost Coach Lovato back to Roswell as our linebacker coach. We got a guy in who's been around it and who's already making a huge impact on our program.
Well, the reason I'm here is because Jaden and we were at the coaches and we were talking, and Jaden convinced me that I had to do a Hobbs Clovis game, and then I got to thinking, man, I got to go. I got a good friend, Cal Fulerton, and then Adam Deals. Since you wanted Hobbs, you got the target on your back. He's a Clovis Wildcat. He's almost converted from a Rio Rancho. He haven't gotten to wear that purple yet, but we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. You got to be able to take a purple shirt and give it to him and let him wear it in the booth next week.
Sure. We can do that for sure. You're right.
But your schedule, I mean, this, a good Hobbs victory, hopefully tonight's another victory, but, your schedule is brutal. And that's one thing that really sometimes is held against you because of the schedule.
Yeah, for sure. You can't say enough about Los Lunas. Opponent tonight, man. They're ranked #1 on the coaches poll. They returned so many kids from last year. Coach Moppin is doing an excellent job over there. He is sharp and a class act. And then after that, it doesn't get any easier. We go to Rio Rancho, who's a perennial power every year. One of the best in the state at what they do every year with Coach House, and he does a great job over there. And then we get to 3 games in a row, 3 weeks in a row, where we play against Lubbock schools, and
they're all rated.
Yeah.
Most of them are all rated.
2 of them are. Lubbock Cooper's preseason ranked #8. Coronado's preseason ranked 13 in the state. And then you got Lubbock Monterey, who will play first in that 3-week span. And, they got better-looking kids than the other 2 teams. So it's a tough deal, but, I think it helps our kids, especially if we stay healthy. It helps our kids. The speed over in Texas is a little bit different, and obviously you play against it. That's gonna help your kids when it comes to district time. So, that's part of the reason why we do it.
Well, I think the biggest thing is as long as you can stay healthy. I mean, and also that shows the depth that you will go play those teams, and a lot of those games are on the road.
Right. Yeah, we played 2 on the road this year. I think we're probably both homecoming games for them, but but that's all right. Yeah. The good thing about it is we got a lot of kids that are going to get some reps and get some experience and stuff. And if somebody does go down, then hopefully somebody will be able to step up and get in there and be able to play because they've had those experiences already.
So what can we expect from Los Lunas? I know that you only got to see them on film, but
right.
number one in 5A,
yes,
coming into the Leon Williams Stadium.
And you say 5A, but they're one of the best teams in the whole state.
And I shouldn't. If I said it derogatory, 5A is almost 5 and 6A right now are almost very
exactly
very
right.
comparable.
And that's what I was gonna harp on a little bit. I know Yotis at the Albuquerque Journal's got them ranked 4th in the Metro, and they're expecting huge things this year. They're hungry for sure because of their game last year against Roswell High in the state game. Ended up losing that one, so those kids are hungry, ready to get back to the title game, and they're going to come into Leon Williams and expect to win and going to fight their tails off for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and come back and talk more Clovis Wildcat football.
Helped her, let's see. Smith back to pass. Throws over to O'Toole on the slant cut. O'Toole breaks a tackle. 5, touchdown. 26-yard pass. 3 yards to go. The handoff to Joseph, and he's in. Touchdown, Matadors.
Figueroa's got the distance. Yes!
Come on, man, this beat is crazy.
3rd and goal. Benavides rolls. Fires to the end zone, and it's caught. They get in the game.
They're going for a pass. They're not going to take any time.
And Harris has some movement if he wants to run. Instead, he's going to fire. Instead, he's going to go to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. Works on 1st down and 10. A draw play handoff to the outside, and a nice spin move, and look out. Some room down the sideline. Shot out of a cannon all the way. The last. Play action as Petty's looking, and he fires, and he's got Hoffman across midfield, and it's a foot race now. Hoffman's going to race down the sideline, and no one's going to touch him. Touchdown.
And 1. Quarterback. He coughed up the football. It's going to be a scoop and score for Sandia. every week, but the kid's got tremendous poise and potential.
No doubt.
Here to see if they try to reverse again. And they do. Garcia's with it. He's got some block down the right side, some room. One man to beat, cuts it back at the 40 to the 45. Ognate, man, fumbled.
Oh my gosh.
Cougar picks it up and is going to run it in for a score. That's Jerome Benavides with a 50-yard return.
Wow.
Only second down and 4.
Harris going to fire down the near side, looking for Phillips towards the end zone. Touch.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest here is Cal Fulerton, head football coach at Clovis, New Mexico, my hometown, and brings back many memories. We're in the press box of Leon Williams Stadium, and Cal, this is the first time I've been up here.
Is it really?
It's the first time I've actually physically been in. I was exciting to come in and be in this press box, and you remodeled it. It's got air conditioning, It's got internet, and makes the Clovis Wildcats on top of their game.
Yeah, it does, and you still got the same view of back in 1970 when it was built.
I refer back, I go back to my days with Jimmy Joe Robinson, and that was one of our – I kind of hated this stadium because this is where we trained before the football games, and it kind of brought me back memories when Jaden Isler was doing practice, and he was sitting here at the gate waiting for us, and I was thinking, man, I'm going to go up these steps, and I made the first one up proud, but that second one, I'm telling you, I'm still recovering from it.
I understand. Heck, it's been a while since I've been up here. When Coach Roanhouse was here, I was usually up in the box with on the headsets with him, and I was in pretty decent shape back then, and I hadn't had to come up here in a while. I'm in the same boat as you are.
Here's Los Lunas coming out on the field, and they're in for a awakening. A lot of good teams come in here, and they don't come out with a win, and that's just called a tradition.
Yeah, and
no pressure on you there. Don't throw me out of the booth. Okay,
I'm not sure what to say to that. But no, history-wise, you're right. And that's something that we need to keep going. Our fans are a big part of that. Our band's a big part of that. Our cheer and our drill teams. Everybody's behind us. So everybody expects big things from us, and there's a lot of disappointment when we end up losing a football game, especially if it's at home.
Go back to, what was your biggest game when you played in that you can remember?
I was a junior in 1995, and we played Mayfield right here, and we were
a guy called Coach Bradley.
Yeah, Coach Bradley, yes sir. We were up 12-0 at half, and ended up losing 13-12 in the state game, and it was heartbreaking. And the only good thing about it was I was a junior and had 1 year left, and played the next year. It was the year we actually got to go to Clovis, California, and play there, and went down there and beat those guys. That was a pretty neat deal, especially for a high school kid to be able to get on an airplane and fly to California and get to play somebody like those guys. And we had a really good year that year and got to the semifinals. Ended up getting beat by Manzano in the semifinals. And I had little bad memories about that year. I broke my hip on the sideline in the second game of district against Carlsbad, and didn't get to finish my senior year. But now I'm back here coaching. This is my 15th year being in the program as a coach. And
you paid your dues, is what you're saying. I mean,
you hang out with Coach Roanhouse that long, you pay your dues.
I agree. Actually, Roanhouse started with me as a sophomore at Clovis High. He was the C team basketball
yes,
coach,
sir.
and there's still a mark on the he took after. I think he was before Bobby Knight, and he threw that chair across the deal, and he didn't get it technical, and he didn't get thrown out. That's a true story. Well, Cal, I know Hey, thanks for coming up. I know it's before the game, and thanks for taking your time. Thanks for, I want to thank the hospitality of Clovis for giving us this nice, fine booth and getting us set up. And, hey, good luck tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Hey, thank you guys for coming. It's an honor having you guys down here, friends with a lot of guys that you work with, and, they're great people. And we're lucky you guys came down to Clovis tonight to put this show on for us.
And we're going to be back for the Hobbs-Clovis basketball game,
Yes,
so that's
sir.
our
I'll
next
be
time
there.
here.
If you need some more airtime, just holler at me.
All right, sounds good.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
ABQ ER and Hospital is changing the way you see ER in Albuquerque. We promise to see each patient within 10 minutes of arrival. ABQ ER and Hospital is now offering $25 school physicals, with 100% of proceeds donated back to the schools.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We have Adam Deal. He's going to do the My 50 TV Game of the Week tonight. And, Adam, how do you feel about this? I mean, this is kind of exciting, isn't it?
Well,
it's exciting for me because it's my alma mater and coming back and doing it. But, you've been at Portales and get to come in.
No, this is kind of my stomping grounds, right? Eastern New Mexico, and so I came to Clovis a lot. And I love it out here, even the smell, right? It's a potent smelling, right?
You would have to say something,
I mean, get used to it. Like I spent, 6 years.
See, I didn't even notice it. I'm so it's been ingrained in me. I didn't even notice.
It's nice. The air, everything, it's recognizable. I mean, Eastern New Mexico is like 20 miles down the road, so it's nice to be back. But I'll tell you, I was talking with Ron, and we were saying, Ron is our camera guy, Ron Molina. And we're saying it's fun to get away from Albuquerque for atmospheres like this. You could feel Clovis isn't really like small town per se, but it is, right? It's like a West Texas type football feel, and you can kind of feel it in the air.
Like Friday nights, this is like a real Friday night Texas type game, right?
And we're excited about just another atmosphere away from the metro area because we do so many games in the metro, so we're kind of excited for that.
Well, I tell you, we had a good little drive today. 3.5. We had a little detour, but it was a great detour for me.
Yeah, the Fort Sumner. There's a one-way road right outside of it, so you'll wait for about 20 minutes in line. But everything's been fine. Everyone's been great. Cal Fulerton, he was just on. He's a lot of fun, right? And so and it's tough to take over after Eric Roanhouse, who's a legend. I think he's done a really good job with it. Don't you think?
He really has, and I think this is his year of coming out. I mean, I've always talked to you about jobs and things about coming after a legend. It's hard to get your own system in that people start believing you in. And I think, last week they had 5,000 people at the game against Hobbs, and just kind of expectation. They got a number 1 rated Los Lunas coming to town. Let's talk about that one.
Right. They're really good, and they're ranked number 1 in 5A, and they're big, and they have over 100 kids that come out for their program. And so, to be honest, they're more like a 6A team than a 5A team, and so I think they fit in nicely. It's going to be tough on the road here, but this is a game I think I've talked about a lot, Steve, that it's actually really important in the beginning of the season because look at what Clovis has in front of them, okay? Clovis has this game, and then they go to Rio Rancho, which I know Rio Rancho lost to Centennial, but Rio Rancho is still going to be very good. And then Clovis has 3 games against 3 really good Lubbock schools, like very good. I mean, really, one of them's ranked 8 in big school Texas, like just fantastic. And then Clovis have to deal with their district, which is tough, right? I mean, Manzano's not a slouch. Clovis should be better. Sandia's a little bit better. But then they have La Cueva, the defending state champs, and we know El Dorado is going to be really good this year. And so Clovis' schedule is nightmarish. So games like this against Los Lunas, very important at home to win state playoffs and basically to get themselves a good seed.
Well, and a lot with the selection of the seeding, it's a big win for both these teams if both teams go ahead and win in their district.
Yeah, I mean, it can mean a lot. And like I said, listen, Cal himself has talked about these Lubbock schools. Like, his record isn't going to be pretty at the end. Even if he wins his district, Clovis's record might not be the greatest because of these Lubbock schools. It's going to be a task for him, these 3 games. I'm not saying they're going to lose them all, but for them to win any of those 3 games is going to be very dramatic. And so that's why I think like games like this, even though it's a very tough game, I think it's something that Clovis has to come out and win.
Well, what do you think? I mean, you've seen the field and the heat. You think that's going to be an issue tonight?
Yeah, well, it's going to get a little.
It's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's a dry type of heat, and I guess we have a little bit of chance of some rain a little bit later. We'll see, and we'll cross our fingers that doesn't happen. But it's not supposed to get a lot cooler this evening, and so you're looking at still 90s at kickoff time. So it's going to be something that everybody has to deal with.
Well, you got little goosebumps, little things ready to go?
No, I'm ready to go. The crew's ready to go, right? The guys, we made the trek, and we got a couple new toys that we've been messing around with, and hopefully, things
kind of talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Steve,
we got one right here.
Yeah, well, there we go. We're talking into a GoPro, and it's just our crew gets better every year, and we always have new stuff every year that we add. And so this year we'll hopefully bust out a couple or a wireless camera, hopefully to get some better shots of the crowd and field and, all kinds of stuff. We're working on that right now, and so it's something that we're just integrating into the broadcast. My 50 tonight, 7:00. It should be fun.
We got some new sponsors. Touch on those just a little bit. Scott Grady.
First off, I want to thank who's behind us. You see him, Gallus, right? So we have this beautiful truck.
I wish we had a picture of that. We got to take a picture of this.
We're gonna have to, and it's wrapped right. They had it wrapped all Gallus, and so we kind of came out here, and everyone's kind of making fun of us. Like we came out here loud, right? Big city boys coming to Clovis and they're making it known. We have this wrap truck, and then you got this gorgeous SUV that Gallus gave us to come out here with. But they've sponsored us, and they've been fantastic. I think there's a couple other ones, like 8th Grade Performance Center has been a brilliant sponsor. They'll be a replay sponsor, and you'll see them tonight. And Albuquerque ER. There's a ton ER and hospital. There's a ton new ones, and you'll see them. But it's support like this that helps us do these broadcasts, helps us go to Clovis, and then helps us be able to put on a production that we're proud of and get better every year. I know everyone wants to see ESPN type broadcasts. Well, that can't happen unless you get some people to support you and be proud of it. And we do. We got some sponsors that are new. And
Laguna. We want to talk about Laguna. My stomach's already turning thinking about hamburgers.
Laguna Burger. I want to know where the meal is after this. What's the hometown? Steve
there's some people after doing this tough work deal. I'm going to go eat now.
Yeah, some of us have to work and can't be the boss, right? Some of us have to work. Rolling his eyes as Alden Iowani behind you as he's sweating after putting up cables all over the place.
I actually helped too, and I brought up. I didn't see you carrying much.
You're telling this story about you used to run these stairs. I don't know. I would like to see that. I saw you 1.5 times up these stairs, and you're ready to quit.
Yeah, but you got to understand that was 40
Steve,
plus years ago. I'm not going to go into the real details.
These are excuses that I'm listening to right now.
Well, no, it's been. I tell you, I want to thank you because you're kind of the instrumental guy that got me going on this, and you have a way of convincing me. But it started out with a basketball game with Hobbs and with Jaden, and then by the end of the night, it became a football and a basketball game.
Well, Steve, we're at the coaches' clinic. It's Buster Mary's coaches' clinic, which is awesome. New Mexico High School coaches' clinic, and like we had this event, and a lot of the coaches were there, and every coach from out of town was saying, "You got to come, you got to come, you got to come." And it was actually getting funny, right? You and I would get dragged to a new group of coaches, and they're serious. And that's a credit, right, to what we've done and what we've been able to become. Proview Networks. We're not always perfect, we know that, but at least everyone knows that our heart's in the right place. We love high school sports. We want to cover it, and to be honest, we don't just want Albuquerque. When it's feasible, we will get out when it makes sense. And like events like this, you and I kind of looked at the schedule, and it was a no-brainer to us. So.
No, it was, and like I said, we like to do more. Last year we went and did the El Dorado and Las Cruces
a year ago
to this day,
right?
And
by the way, they're going to play tomorrow on Proview Networks, and that's a huge top 5 game. And I'm really excited about that one. That's why I got to get back tonight, is because that game's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So
we'll talk about our other game that's going to be played tonight.
Yeah, and so at New Center Community Stadium, how about the new team that everyone's talking about, the Cibola Cougars, right? And Aiden Chavez, this freshman quarterback who threw for 6 touchdowns. And Steve, they're playing on Yate, and I'm looking at Cibola's schedule, and I'm like, man, they can get like 6 wins before district in there, which would be incredible. And I'll be honest, I even told Rod Williams this. I slept on them. Didn't see Cibola coming at all. And all of a sudden, they kind of handle Sandia like it was nothing. They've got Oñate tonight, who was down. They've got Highland the next week. They'll play Del Norte. So you look at their schedule, and all of a sudden you're thinking, wow. And then in their district, they'll have West Mesa, and they'll have a Trisco Heritage. And I think, games, against Rio Rancho that they can get up for. And so this is a team that you'll see on Proview Networks on Comcast 26 tonight if you watch, that if they play it right, could find themselves in a good position that none of us really saw coming.
Well, to your left is Alden, and
he
really I guess he disappeared, so I can't be.
He just walked.
He disappeared on me, but he kind of got me thinking that they could actually get.
Well, I don't know how good they really are. It's early, but they're good with the win against Sandia and their schedule in front of them. They've got wins on their schedule. Like, I see wins if things go well and they're healthy. But this quarterback, he's a freshman, Steve. His name's Aiden Chavez. He threw for over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns in his very first varsity game as a freshman. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I've seen that in big school football. I don't know if I have. Even Zach Gentry, I don't think has done something that special. So I'm just saying, that's big.
Well, I tell you, another great thing with Jeff Symbiota with the sports talk in the morning.
So you can catch the opening drive, which is on 610 and 99. Somebody help me with this. 90. What was that, Jason? 95.9. I apologize. 95.9 FM. And 6:10 a.m. And it's opening drive. Jeff Symbiota, of course, he's very well known as a great broadcaster, and doing the opening drive with J.J. Buck. And it's on every single morning, 7 to 10. We broadcast it live from their studio, and we broadcast it on Comcast 26, Proview Sports Network. We also do it on Facebook. We also do it on YouTube and Twitter, and so all of these outlets where you can watch unbelievable programming, and the production is very well done. So we're excited about that as well. It's kind of every year, Steve, you and I talk about it, we try to get better, and we try to one-up ourselves from the year before. That's the goal, right? You just want to keep getting better. I can definitively say program-wise and content-wise and quality of production that this year is going to be the best year by a mile.
Well, Adam, I got to let you save your voice and save your energy because you
got a lot of work.
You got a lot of work and got a lot of preparation to get done. But hey, what a great day for the Steve Davis Show to come down to Leon Williams in Clovis, New Mexico, be in the press box, get to talk to Cal Fulerton, and then also finish up with the guy that's going to be doing the game of the week, my 50 game of the week.
Very exciting. Appreciate it. And we heard you loud and clear on the break that the steaks here in Clovis are the best, and it's on you, and all the root beers that you can drink are on you. So the guys are really excited. Thanks.
Well, they close at night at 10 o'clock. So you guys better get this game over quickly.